Coming to you live from the Loading Ready Run orbiting underground moon base, it's the LRRcast. Back again in the moon base.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Back again.
Hopefully this time
Shady's back?
with not the poops audio.
Oh, no. We forgot about Dre.
I did not forget about Dre.
I never forget about Dre.
How dare
Yeah,
you?
don't accuse me of such a thing. Damn. Jesus.
I actually I responded to a tweet from the Magic Online account this morning that they clearly had not forgotten about Dre because there was the community manager for Magic Online has the LP of the Chronic on the wall of her cubicle.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's just so she doesn't forget.
exactly.
That's really funny.
That's helpful.
Alex,
Hi.
I forgot about Dre.
You
were
just
See,
now forgot.
doesn't
You were
doesn't
right.
it feel better to admit
He's-
to your guilt
Yeah.
than to
It's like
have it fester inside?
It seems
Yeah.
like it's kind of like the silly game thing where it's like if you
you
get reminded about it,
You
then-
lose.
yeah.
Wow, we all lost the game. That's cool. I haven't
Yeah.
lost the game for a while.
Nobody gives a shit, James.
No,
Everybody,
Nobody gives even half a shit.
lots of people care.
I don't.
Dre,
Alright,
so
Dre
Graham
probably
and-
cares.
Graham and James and Alex and Paul here this week.
Woo.
It's just
And,
these guys.
Do we have anything to talk about? Should we just jump into the questions?
In
Q's
terms
and
of,
A's?
I mean, we again, as is often the case, I think we've got loading times coming for
Most everything.
stuff, but there are
The LRRcast did go up despite the audio issues.
Yeah.
So we did talk about that.
Yep.
And speaking of which, we are the footage
Oh, yeah.
of the
Is-
LRRcon
is en route, is not?
It
currently
is on a hard drive in the mail.
currently on its way here.
Mm.
So once that gets here, we'll be taking a look at it and hopefully putting it up in a place where it can be viewable.
Yes.
Yep.
Um,
I had a
Um,
burrito.
Alex had a
What about
burrito.
I was thinking like anything about like the crap shots, because we don't really do loading times about those.
Oh, shit, we don't.
Well, we've shot behind the scenes of some of them.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should probably next time we set
The-
up
the-
an afternoon of crap. We should get somebody on the LT.
The latest set,
crap
the was it the stand they call or the
Yeah. All
Oh,
of the
yeah.
lemonade stand ones.
you can tell in it that the sun was like shining directly
So
in Kathleen's
bright.
eyes.
Yeah,
So she's
We were using a bounce to fill in
Which was
to-
also super
to
bright.
eliminate the shadows, and it actually it worked really well. But it did mean that if you looked one way, there was the sun, and if you looked the other way, there was a reflective
Also, yeah.
surface nearly as bright as the sun.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
was somewhat blinding.
That
Just
was
a bit.
that was not great, but I was quite happy with how those ones turned out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that you just put them up one after another,
Yeah.
like rather than splitting them up.
Just
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
3-beat turned into sort of a 3-beat joke.
And then
Yeah.
the latest one that just went up
The mailroom,
was mailroom,
where Kathleen just chucks into a wood chipper.
and that's what happens. Is it's a wood chipper at the end.
Surprisingly hard to find the sound of a wood chipper
You
online.
need to lower your
Yeah.
pop screen. It's completely obscuring your face.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, fine. Maybe.
We
There
now
you go.
Kathleen got very excited about doing the material for that would be like blown back from the
Yeah.
wood
Yes.
chipper,
You spent like 30 minutes cutting that stuff
and
up.
she cut up. It was actually the T-shirt that we used for the
Creepy doll.
the creepy doll video.
Yeah.
Which was just a We Play T-shirt that we had that we just cut a hole in, and then
Yep.
we'd already ruined it. So for this one, we just tore it apart.
Yeah.
And then tore up some
and
pieces,
so-
and like a stack of paper as well
So
to
it's
throw
some
in
paper
some
and
white.
stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I tried to tell Kathleen that it's supposed to be like the little bit of stuff that's blown back from the wood chipper. It's not supposed to be the entire mass of
I
the
think it's
package
fine.
that gets blown back into your face.
it
And
worked.
weirdly,
It's the
an
Mortal
amount of
Kombat
additional
school.
mass.
Yes.
Yeah,
Possibly more package than was actually
Yeah,
in
where
the
there's
package.
more.
in the
There's
first
more
place.
mass actually expelled.
Because I think it was like a large T-shirt or like it was an extra large T-shirt or something, and the T-shirt that we had in the package was not that big.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh well.
it was. I was still really happy with how that turned out, and that is a completely accurate depiction of the Loading Ready Run shipping
Mhm.
process.
Yeah.
Which is your stuff
Which
is
is
in the
why-
mail.
Which is
Why we don't do it anymore.
Why we
Yeah.
send it out to PA to take care of.
Yeah, they have a much larger industrial sized wood chipper. They
those
can do
of
it way
you-
faster than us.
Yeah. For those of you who like watching our streams, we're adding some new streams.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
On Loading Ready Live. We should talk about that. So there is now a Friday evening Alex time slot.
Hi.
Which is sort of more a formalization of what was happening anyway.
Yeah. So it'll be alternating, not necessarily week on week, but it will be one of either the Let's Nope, which will be Alex playing a spoopy game with a co-host from the crew or one of Alex's friends, like Susie and Charlotte were joining you for Downpour.
Silent Hill Disappointment.
Yeah. So it'll be Alex playing a game with a different co-host depending on the week and depending on the game. But I do think that Kathleen has said that she will return for the DLC for Outlast.
Sweet.
So, which apparently
that would be a good way to kick it off.
Apparently has really cranked up the penis quotient.
Yep. Apparently it's like penis torture now.
So that's
Nice.
awesome. So it'll be either the Let's Nope or Watch and Play, which is where I inflict terrible games on Alex that I find on the internet.
Oh, boy.
And do not prepare Alex in advance and force him to play them. And of course, the name is inspired by the first one of those that was Prayer Warriors.
Wow.
And Capole42 in the chat came up with that name one day. It was like, man, you guys should call these things Watch and Play.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, it's so perfect because of course there was that sick beats. The
like,
awesome music track, Stand Against the Devil from Prayer Warriors.
the tarot cards,
Watch and
Graham.
Pray. Watch and Pray.
There were tarot cards that came after us.
Yeah.
I feel like you're saying it's you or whoever is forcing Alex to play these games. I feel like the forcing Alex aspect is not emphasized enough. I think maybe something like an electric shock collar.
Restraints of something.
Or maybe just, restraints of some kind. Maybe a cattle prod.
Whoa, wow, okay.
Now we correct the streamer.
Yeah, just to make sure that, he does indeed play the game.
Yeah.
His behavior has thus been modified.
There's a lot of
I'm sure we could hook up something
a lot of emergent gameplay where Alex just starts hiding in the corner in the game.
I'm sure there's some way we could hook it up so that the stream can shock Alex.
Ugh. I'm not down
There's
with
no
that at all.
possible way
God,
that
no.
could go badly.
I don't see
No.
any way that could go wrong.
No.
Voting threshold.
So every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, there'll be one of those two shows, and it'll be broadly alternating. But sometimes we might do like Let's Nope a couple weeks running to get a game fully played or something. It'll depend. Keep an eye on the schedule. LoadingReadyRun.com/live. After James is finished coughing, you want to talk about the other one?
The other one is from on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Moonbase time.
Well, we're all busy shooting.
While we're all busy shooting, our friend Adam Savanan, who you might know from a bunch of past videos, actually. He's been in a lot of stuff. The Dutch, I mean, that was so long ago now, it's not even, it was actually like 7 years ago now.
He was also
like that.
I'll
core
look it up.
unit.
He's core unit in
those games we played.
He was in a couple episodes of Commodore Hustle, the first season.
Oh yeah,
with him waiting outside. Me and him were camping out. One episode was centered around him and I camping outside the mall for Diablo 3.
I was trying to think what's the most recent thing he's shown up in.
I don't think.
According to the wiki, it's that, but I feel like the wiki's out of date.
Yeah. He might have been in like one or two things.
Oh, he was in an episode of Friday Nights apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, he was during in the draft.
Yeah, he's been a player at YJ.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that would be more recent.
And he's also shown up on your stream.
He joined me on
for Diablo.
For Diablo, we actually played Diablo 3 on my stream.
He is also your hetero life partner.
He is that. So that show is going to be called Adam's Game House. I guess it's Game House. 11 o'clock. He's going to be playing. It's going to have the sort of same feeling that Graham shows have, which is sort of games that you haven't gotten around to playing and feel like would work well on stream. Mm-hmm. You don't mind sacrificing that experience.
Yeah,
that personal experience of playing a video game to play it on stream. So,
in worst case scenario, he'll just grind Diablo, I'm sure.
That or play like he's gotten super hardcore into Magic over the last couple months.
Oh, nice.
So he could always draft.
Yeah,
and I was like, if you want to get viewers, that's probably the way to go.
He would always, like for the past several years now, since we got into Magic, he'll show up to the pre-releases with us.
Yep.
And like he'll show up do the sealed pre-release. Typically, like
Destroy.
top
Yeah.
5. Like,
Yeah,
just
normally
to
he'll go
crush
like
people.
4-1. And I think he's
And
won
then
one
just
once.
Give James all of his
And
packs
then he just
and be like,
here
all
you
right,
go.
that was cool. See you in 4 months.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's changed actually over the last 6 months.
I actually caught him
He's-
on one of Marshall's videos asking to be invited
Yeah.
to the limited resources.
Yeah,
plan.
he's been drafting a lot recently. I know it's going to be too late. This podcast will probably go up too long after he streams his first show. But I know he's playing Dragon's Dogma
nice.
on Saturday, which is a game I didn't
for
know
PC, 'cause
existed.
we have it on console.
No. Oh, you do. He does too.
Oh,
he has
okay.
it for PS3.
I think we have it for PS3. We had it for Unskippable at some point. I'll have to take a look.
Okay. So that's what he's going to be playing.
It looked cool. I'd like to see that.
That will be from 11 till 2. And here's a trick for anybody who doesn't know. If you go to the chat, the Twitch chat, and go !time, it will show you our time, the moon-based time, which works really well. Or go to the
You can also type ! next.
Yeah,
And it
it'll
will
show
tell
you
you what the next scheduled show is according to the calendar, which you can also subscribe to through your RSS or add it to your Google or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you'll always know when we're doing
And
stuff.
yeah,
Because we do sometimes have people be like, oh, I missed the Twitch notification. I didn't know you guys were live. And it's like, well, all our shows are scheduled. So,
Yep.
well,
you know,
most of
Well,
them.
most.
I mean, sometimes we go live and
And
It's a
you
surprise,
can
but-
subscribe to the Twitter or the Twitter channel.
Yeah.
Twitter
You can
account.
follow the Twitter
Follow
account,
the
and the
Twitters.
Twitter will automatically tweet.
Whatever you do to Twitter accounts. So I mean, we try to have as many ways as possible for you to keep track of when we're
Oh,
streaming
yeah.
and
We're
stuff.
we're currently developing the technology to have Alex just come to your house and scream
and
at
just
you.
knock on the door.
Oh,
Hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go live pretty soon. But with the addition of these two shows, it means other than Sunday, we now have something scheduled every day of the week, and
Nice.
we will be doing crossing the streams going forward. So, yeah,
But that won't be every week.
it won't be every week, but once or twice a month. There's probably we're looking at maybe 4 days, 3 or 4 days a month where nothing is streamed. Maybe, probably less, to be honest, which is kind of crazy to think about.
On weeks when Jer isn't doing Book of Passwords, if we assume that it's an off week for Book of Passwords and we assume no other streams,
Yep,
it's 28 hours
28 hours of streams.
Dag.
a week, because it's on Monday there's I forgot, hang on, I didn't count Beach's backlog. It's 31, because on Monday there's 1 2 3-hour blocks. On Tuesday there's 1 3-hour block, so that's 3 4 5 on Wednesday, 6 7 8 on Thursday, and then 9 and then 10. So that's 30 hours, and then Checkpoint Plus is an hour on Monday.
So then, assuming it is an on week for Book of Passwords, and there's a crossing the streams, we're pushing 40 hours.
Depending on if
I mean,
it's 34 hours with Book of Passwords, and
And
if
then-
crossing
so-
streams goes 5 hours maybe.
Yeah, then we're up to.
Yeah,
That's kind of insane.
it's a full-time job to watch us.
It is a full-time job, and I'll tell
It
you,
doesn't pay you.
And I mean, I'll let we can say this. I'll say this right. I don't think we ever made this public, but our goal when we started streaming was 20 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
That was our internal goal, was to do 20 hours of streams a week. So we're well
So we
past
got
that.
that, yeah.
We got that covered.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been asking in the chat, are you guys gonna? Is it 2014? Do you just stop afterwards? And no,
No,
at this
I don't
point,
think so.
no. I think it's
Maybe some things changed, but I think we'll make streaming work some way or another going forward.
As it happens, we all really enjoy it. So we basically, being able to use the excuse that it's work to force us to actually play some games now and again.
what
So.
a drag.
All right, so we get into Askler.
Yep.
I believe you
Alrighty.
should.
Christians.
So these are questions from you
Excuse me.
on the Twitters. All right. Foxmar asks, if Graham and Paul had never met, do you think Loading Ready Run would have ever been created?
Probably not.
Probably
right?
not.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have done something, but it wouldn't be like this.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there would be some sort of creative outlet, but
But
It's like,
It would be
where
different.
we all be?
yeah, I have no
Dead.
idea.
Definitely dead.
We'd all be dead, weirdly.
it would be it's one
Probably.
of those alternate universe things where everybody is something different.
Turns out
knows?
if you didn't meet all of our lives, it would actually be significantly better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
even ours.
Yeah.
it's like It's a Wonderful Game.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
where it's like
yeah.
you're like a high-powered executive somewhere. Bill is a basketball star.
But it's crappy for me, so I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Can Play Games asks, what is the perfect sandwich?
Oh, that's
Jesus.
the perfect sandwich.
The one that's on the plate in front of me.
I really like the BLTs from the parsonage.
The BLTs from the parsonage are very
They're
good.
really
I'm
good.
not a big fan of BLTs in general, but the ones from the parsonage are very, very tasty.
So you should all come to Victoria and try the BLTs at the
There is
parsonage.
a really good sandwich that is served at what was formerly the Lunch Kit and is now Friends of Bears. They call it the Crack.
Friends of
Friends of-
Bears?
Friends of Bears.
That's a sweet name.
Yeah.
It's roast beef,
Get closer to the mic.
crispy onions, and I think it might be spinach and like
Sounds
an
tasty.
aioli. It's really good.
I'm also really partial to the. I'm so bummed I didn't have one this year. The
Baron of Beef at the
at the
TP
OPT
party.
I
Yeah.
can never eat that ever again.
Oh, did you have like
Uh,
just too many one year?
Did you? Wait, I thought you were there when this happened. I had the
Maybe?
Baron of Beef for like possibly the first time. Then I went on a carnival ride because I was like, oh man, I haven't been on one of these for a long time, and I was violently sick.
I don't remember.
I am a fan of the Baron of Beef. I don't know if the one at the
The one at the
Tea
tea party
party
is
is not actually
absolutely not the best, but
that
it's
good an example of it, but
it
it's
ta-
sort of a
It's
traditional
fresh
thing.
roasted.
it tastes good because nostalgia works really well.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean it's more a traditional thing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
though. Legend System or Microlight 20?
Pardon?
I don't actually.
I don't know what either of those are.
Paul, do you?
I'm
have
going to
any
go with
idea?
Microlight 20 because it sounds cooler.
Legend.
All right. Well, let's look this up. Let's see what the Microlight 20 is, and maybe that'll tell us what the. Okay, Microlight 20 character sheet. Oh, it's a tabletop RP system.
Oh.
I've never heard of.
I
either.
I haven't heard of
we
either.
have not
Yeah.
played either of them, so
Wah,
sorry.
wah.
D&D.
Sorry.
Well,
Well,
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder, sure.
I am about to play Pathfinder tonight.
Hey.
How have we never been asked this? This is the standard Reddit AMA question.
What? What is it?
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
How is that a standard question?
It's on
They
Reddit
ask
is
everyone-
every AMA.
You know how in like Desert Bus 4, every person who called in got asked what their opinion on Star Trek erotic fan fiction was? Desert Bus 5, I think.
Oh, I see.
It's like that. It's anytime someone doesn't ask me anything on Reddit, someone will ask them, "Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?"
100 tiny horses.
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
correct
that's
answer is
flat.
100
It's
tiny
always
horses,
going to be
yeah.
100 tiny
Imagine
horses.
a duck the size like
Dude,
ducks
are
are vicious
crazy to
enough
be-
Yeah.
at normal size.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like that thing would just one shot.
like a
you
horse.
every time.
A duck-sized horse couldn't really do a whole lot to you.
No.
I mean they can kick you.
Yeah,
But-
no. Always the 100
Or
duck-sized horses.
Mark asks,
They would be adorable.
After watching E3 and assuming that you had no console currently, did E3 make you want
Ooh,
one? And
that's-
if so, which one?
That's interesting. So, from my standpoint, Microsoft did almost nothing for me in terms of me wanting to go out and buy an Xbox One.
Their presentation this year, which did not mention the Kinect, Netflix, or television once. It
Yeah.
was all about games. Was a
Was-
vast improvement over
yes.
last year in terms of that tone.
But nothing.
But I was just sort of like, this all seems fine.
Nothing really got me going. Then Sony did theirs. And Sony's was exactly the same for me until the very end, and then they teased Uncharted 4. And I am the biggest Uncharted 4 fanboy in the world, so I will be buying a PS4 for Uncharted 4. In fact, what I really want to do is buy the PS4 Vita bundle when that actually
I'm
finally
pretty
comes
excited
out.
about them doing an HD Grim Fandango.
That also is very
Yeah.
cool.
I gotta say, just for purely personal preference in terms of the games that they showed, I enjoyed the Sony press conference more than the Xbox or Nintendo one. Having said that, the Nintendo one, the way that they showed their games at their press conference and then did like live streams of all their demos and stuff, like just hour-long things of gameplay and stuff.
That was
There's
very
actually
good.
a lot of really sweet games
It's-
for the Wii U that I actually am really
I
interested
Yeah,
in.
and
mean,
I mean-
the big thing with E3 was definitely like, wow, this totally makes me want to buy a PS4 in 2015.
In 2015. Okay, well, I mean, that's
It's
the thing.
like nothing interesting is coming out until 2015.
So E3, I don't really want an Xbox One. I will buy a PS4 next year when I have to have one for Uncharted. And I'm glad I own a Wii U already because those are some fun-looking games.
Yeah.
That was
Like,
E3 for me.
I have no allegiance at this point. Like,
No,
I've been lucky enough to be in a position where I can have both or all three consoles. I don't care. Like, I'm not like Xbox because Microsoft is best. I'm not PS4 because Sony is best. Do not
Graham,
care at
who
all.
won E3?
Yeah, exactly. It does not matter. In terms of games that were shown that interest me personally, this is my opinion, I enjoyed most of what Sony was showing, and to a lesser extent Nintendo. And then for me, Microsoft just didn't show me that as much stuff that I was excited
Who did
about.
win E3?
Subjective?
No, well, yes,
Like who are people saying did?
But what were all the game journalists and the websites and the blogs?
I don't know if that's been determined yet.
No.
Well,
because I mean, it just ended, right?
Yeah, but it's the age of the internet. I assume they chose winners the minute after all the pressers were done.
See, for myself, we have every console here at the office, so I'm not that arsed about obtaining any of them because I could play anything I want. And what I'm going to play is Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Everything else is just...
Yeah, Bloodborne is a big one.
White
So
noise behind Bloodborne.
Yeah,
Oh,
it did
so
the
excited.
the fact that at the 2014 E3 we still had like 5 zombie games being teased. It's just
that was kind of silly during Sony's one where they're like, we want more zombie games. It's like
No, nobody
one
wants
said
them.
that.
no one has ever said that.
Yeah, it's like we're hearing from you that you want more zombie games. It's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
There's just like one guy in the audience who's like, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
zombie games.
All right, what's next?
Or just a zombie. Or
Killer Wave asks, what is a good job suggestion with a flexible schedule and closed holidays so I can draft MTG?
Unemployed.
professional MTG drafter.
Yeah. Mick Go Grinder.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
I don't have any good suggestions.
No,
so.
I got nothing.
Aaron asks, you guys seem like a really tight crew of friends. Have you ever had any arguments or heated debates?
I nearly
mean-
killed this guy.
Whoa.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Alex.
I wiped your memory.
Alex and James have a pretty big argument about burritos going on right now.
No, we don't. I made one little joke. I made one joke and I left it. I was done.
It's like 3 months from now, we're going to be on a rooftop with guns pointed at each other's faces. It's just like, eat it!
I think,
There
I
have
don't know if
been-
we've had.
There have been disagreements. There have been arguments, but there has not been anything blood curdling. There has been no
Yeah,
major.
I don't even think there's been any sort of like passive aggressive, like, oh, I'm going to ignore this person for a week
No.
shit. Because
That's
we're
just
grown ups.
boring.
Well, it's boring and stupid
I
and
don't think anyone's ever
ineffectual.
slammed a door in anger.
That's happened. I'm sure that's happened.
No, I mean like in relation to Loading Ready Run. I've never had a business argument with any of you guys.
Don't think
No.
so. Well,
I mean, I think it's like, we've had.
In high school when spirits were high.
Yeah, I
know
mean,
and
we-
intelligence was low.
Yeah.
We've had like disagreements about stuff that we've had to sort of talk about, especially when we've come to certain sort of crossroads, I guess.
Yeah.
Loading ready, whether to take on certain projects or what direction we want to move into stuff that we sort of end up discussing a lot. But we usually reach some kind of consensus.
Yeah.
We
I've-
should
I've-
argue over
I have cardboard
Okay.
cutouts of everybody at home that I punch every couple days. Makes
Yeah.
me
Dude,
feel
I
better.
just burned mine.
You must have backups because
Yeah,
cardboard cutout's not going to take much of a punch.
No, I have backups.
Yeah.
He also is very weak.
I
very
order-
weak punching.
I order them in bulk.
I also have a simulator
Luckily-
on the computer where I feed Jigglebone Jameses into a meat grinder.
All right,
They
I was
flail
gonna,
so
I was,
hard.
I was gonna make a joke, but you went.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Foxmar asks, since the playmats and sleeves were a success, which they were, thank you, have you considered other stuff like dice bags and or boxes?
I would love to make boxes.
Yeah.
Dice bags. I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't see quite the demand for dice bags. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think boxes definitely have potential.
It's too bad our logo doesn't have one more.
It's like on a D6, you could have it just look normal, except that the 1 was big and blue and the 3 were blue. But then it's like not the whole logo, and you couldn't use the
Yeah, it
arrow
wouldn't
because
quite
it's only
work.
1.
Could be like
Well,
Unless
the
you
arrow
just
could be the
had-
6.
the 6 is the arrow.
Yeah.
Like you could have the 1, the 3, and the 6 as the 3 dots, and the
and
arrow.
then you also just have a 2, a 4, and a
Awkward.
The other one 5.
You know, a loading ready run colored set of polyhedrals might be kind of cool.
Yeah, just in the colors.
It's-
That could be nice.
I mean, you could probably just get those now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get
I mean,
polyhedral
they're
dice
just
in basically
Any color you want. Yeah.
But you could get it through us.
I mean,
That's
I
true.
guess if we were
Um,
selling, if we did sell a dice bag, we would want to have an option to include an actual set of polyhedrals.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see deck boxes happening.
Yeah.
That
Deck,
seems mo- that
deck
seems the
boxes
most
are
likely.
definitely.
And I mean, it's one of those things too where it's like often people like if you have a dice bag, or if you already have a dice bag, you don't need a dice bag, or if you need a dice bag, you only need one dice bag. But a card box, you might you can have several card boxes and stuff. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more sort of potential for people to buy them,
Mhm.
which is obviously
Carson.
important for us.
Carson asks, if you were a tree, would you find communism more or less enticing?
I would think
less enticing.
I would think less
Less enticing.
I don't know. Would the state water you?
Yeah, are people more inclined to cut down trees during communism or capitalism? I don't know.
Would I have water distributed to me according to my needs? I mean,
You're a tree. You get rained on. That's how that works.
You're a tree in a communist society. You're not necessarily a communist tree.
yourself.
yeah, and I'm sharing my oxygen.
Maybe if you position yourself as a communist tree, they'd be less likely to cut you down.
Mm.
just like grow my own sickles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's a weird question. Yeah.
Grow like a picture of Lenin on your trunk or something.
Ed asks, does anyone from the crew play any tabletop RPGs? We sort of answered that. Paul's in a couple Pathfinder games right now.
Just one currently.
Okay. We just
And
sort of wrapped up a D&D game.
mm-hmm.
We're doing D&D next. And
we're going to be doing
We will be
Lava
doing
Bears.
Lava Bears
Yeah, which
later
Dave's
this year.
working
Yeah.
so, yeah. Dix says he would spring for a deck box in
Sweet.
response to the other question.
Snap.
Question from Jamie. Without meaning to sound impatient, or if I've missed an announcement, what is happening with the Alchemist of Arland streams? Speaking of streams, since we were talking about streaming, that is high on our list.
It is.
Yeah,
we need to I believe we've gotten the responses from everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to collate those and figure out. So this was one of our Kickstarter tiers to do. We will let's play the game that you want. Originally the thought was it would be just myself and Paul, because that was at the time we were mostly the people doing gameplay stuff.
Yeah.
And sort of the Alchemist of Arland because of the unskippable thing, and we thought it'd be just us. But then when we asked people, who do you want to play it? They were like, oh, I want Kathleen to play this, or I want Alex to play this, or something. And we were like, oh, right, I guess anyone could play these. So we just need to figure out who the backers want to play the games. We just need to go over everything and schedule this and make sure that, most importantly, that ideally, no promises, as we said, but ideally it's a time that you're able to watch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hope is that we can do it at a time where obviously the person you want to see playing can play the game, and also you can watch
live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't do it for the first couple months because we were still not confident in our streaming setup.
But now that's
now it's good.
pretty rock solid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty locked in now.
I'm digging it now. So we have not.
So
have we had that internet failure recently?
No.
Good.
Fingers and toes.
Yeah.
crossed.
So that being said, though, if you have not, for whatever reason, received an email asking about what you want to stream and when you want to do it and all that
If
kind
you
of
are
stuff.
an Alchemist of Arland Kickstarter backer,
Yeah, if you're an
You should know
Alchemist
who
of
you are.
Arland or the other one, there's
the Adventurer of Arland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
The
two.
Arland tiers.
Yeah, there's two Arland tiers who should have all received emails about trying to figure out when you want to do this stuff. If you have not received that, please send an email to LRRkick.
Yeah, LRRkick@loadingreadyrun.com. If you have,
Do
not
stop.
email us
Don't
again.
email.
Yeah,
we're good.
if
Okay.
you have,
We'll get back to
then
you.
we'll still be working on that.
All right. Logan asks, how is it that grown-ass adults still have no idea that sales tax exists? I blame the education system, I guess?
Sure.
What
I don't know.
is that a reference to something?
I don't think so. I think he's just actually asking.
I think maybe he's just angry.
Yeah, maybe he's just venting from work.
Punch cardboard cutouts.
Maybe they're from
helps.
Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Lewis,
Where-
or
which is
Louis,
a magical
is
happy place
asking,
where sales
about
tax
some other
doesn't
Kickstarter
exist.
stuff. The tennis balls will be happening in July.
Yep.
Because Kathleen bruises easily and did not want to get hit by tennis balls before the wedding. And I think that's fair. And the Iron Stomach stuff is we're trying for that this month, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Gurgle.
I'm going to actually email everybody asking for whatever disgusting or hopefully tasty foods. I'm hoping everybody just responds with fruits, and we all just have to sit around sipping fruit smoothies for an hour.
Like,
Yeah, what a drag.
raspberry
Man.
yogurt and like raspberry yogurt and
I
orange.
hope someone just flukes out and gets a delicious smoothie. Just one
It'll be
person.
like,
Yeah.
I'm sure
"This-
somebody
this
will.
is really tasty. How's
Yeah.
your dog food pate?
Marmite
Slurpee.
smoothie.
Oh, God.
God. All right.
How did you go about cutting the footage of the conspiracy game for video?
With great difficulty.
It was a several tier process. The first tier was Ray, who does not play Magic and was very confused by the whole thing. Went through and just cut out any part where nothing was happening. Because the draft was like an hour and a half, and the games were like draft and deck building. The games were 50 minutes and then 120 minutes. Or an hour and 20 minutes, not 120 minutes, sorry. 50 minutes and an hour and 20 minutes. And all that, plus the interviews, had to be crushed down to 30 minutes. So he went through and just cut out everything where literally nothing was happening, where anyone who doesn't even play Magic could tell that we didn't need to use it. And then Kathleen went through and chopped it down, and I went through and chopped it down, and then I think she did another pass. We got it down to like an hour and 25, and then she and I sat here and just went through it, and we're like, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. And then I did a final crunch to get it from like 50 minutes down to 30 and just being like, does this matter? Is there a payoff? No. Okay, it goes, even though it's really funny. And just sort of like, editing, man. It's tough. If you could get a sequel, this is a question from Simon. If you could get a sequel for any film or erase a sequel from any film, Jesus, what would you choose and why?
Oh, man, that's hard. Maybe you could
Sequel
erase a
for
sequel?
any film.
I feel like there's something. Oh, does Prometheus count?
As a sequel
Sure.
or pre?
It's kind
It's
of a
kind
sequel.
of a, isn't it kind of a,
You'd
Well,
want
it's
to.
kind of a prequel.
it's a kind of a prequel, yeah.
You'd want to erase
Get
Prometheus.
it out.
Yeah, that movie is pretty terrible.
Although it's also,
Okay, think sequel you want. Let's not talk about
okay,
getting rid of
sequel I
things.
want.
Sequels you want. That's a little bit more interesting.
What's a movie that I've seen? The problem is that, like, is it assured to be a good sequel?
I think
or just
so.
a
Okay, well, let's
sequel?
say a sequel done by the same people who did the original film.
Okay, The Incredibles 2.
I'd be surprised if they're not working on that.
I think I've read that Pixar wanted Brad Bird to do one,
Yeah.
but they haven't.
I don't think that movie needs a sequel at all.
No, it doesn't. But I'd like to
But
see
it
more
could,
of that universe.
it could
Yeah.
definitely do one. Because, man, that movie's so good. It's crazy.
I really honestly can't think of anything right now, which is weird.
Well,
I'm coming up with a blank.
Any movies that you've really enjoyed in the last little while.
Spider-Man 4.
Oh God.
Spider-Man
Like a
5.
fourth Sam Raimi Spider-Man. I think that they should get Spider-Man into the Avengers, but bring Tobey Maguire back as like an adult Peter Parker.
Get his hair to do the flippy thing again?
Oh God, no, not emo Peter Parker, just normal Peter Parker. I just think it'd be funny.
Why can't I think of anything?
More Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use
mean-
my wish on the next Avengers movie to assure that it will be good.
Deal.
Or just make it come out sooner.
No, I mean it comes out next year. I'm fine to wait, but this way I know it's going to be good because in this universe the sequel is as good or if not better than the original, right?
Mm.
Speaking of sequels, 22 Jump Street comes out today, and it is being reviewed so well, and I love the first the movie from 2 years ago was phenomenal. It was so much fun.
See, I
so
didn't
I'm
realize.
super excited to see it.
So I never saw the first one because
Yeah, me neither.
nobody I knew went to see it to tell me that it was funny when I was able to see it. I only found out after the fact that it was apparently really funny.
Yeah.
And I didn't know at the time that it was Lord and Miller
Yep.
who did it, which is the team behind The Lego Movie and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and most notably for me, Clone High.
Yep.
I didn't realize that I didn't know they were the guys who did 21 Jump Street.
Yep.
Or I probably would have gone to see it.
It's very good. It's on Netflix.
I know.
You should absolutely watch it.
I'll be honest. Like I was like, all right, Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. I guess they're fine. I don't know. This movie looks kind of stupid.
No, it was.
And then it turns out it was.
Yeah,
really
it was
funny.
very good. They're talking about making a Clone High movie, eh?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Can I pick that for my sequel?
Yeah.
Wham!
Yeah. Windmill slam.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, let's go.
boy.
Let's move on.
By the way, there's a Robert McCarthy. Sorry, there's a not Robert. There's a Joseph McCarthy Twitter bot called Robot J McCarthy that just
comments on
responds to
communism?
tweets about communism with random buzzwords from Joseph McCarthy era
Nice.
That's
stuff.
really
So he
funny.
RT'd Screaming Turnip asking us that question with
yeah.
just saying filthy lucre in quotes.
Okay.
All right. If you guys could live in any, this is a question from Gemma. If you guys could live in any video game universe, which ones would you each pick? If I have to live there,
Most video game universes are really bad
They are, yeah.
because the whole
And the
point
ones
is
that-
that horrible things are going on.
And the
They
ones
need
that aren't
you.
bad are presumably just very similar to the one we're in.
Yeah,
if I have to live in one, well, let's think of ones where things end up well. Like
I guess
honestly,
like at the end of the game.
yeah,
right?
like now, Final Fantasy X-2 Spira.
Yeah,
After Sin has been defeated,
Sure.
everyone's just flouncing around in hot pants in the sun. It seems great.
Yeah.
and it's like super high tech.
Yeah. It's like a high-tech tropical place. And everyone just plays blitzball and is...
The other thing is that like you want
attractive
to pick
and
some
pointy.
place that you wouldn't get like aggressively bored of or just be totally overloaded with either.
Yeah.
'Cause there's plenty of places where it's just like, wow, this is like eating raw sugar all the time.
So you're saying you don't want to live in Dreamland?
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
or
say,
I was gonna
like,
say
from the
Kingdom
Kirby.
Hearts.
Oh.
Just like, I mean, you at least get the diversity there.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Minecraft.
Ooh,
That sounds miserable.
Sounds awesome.
I don't think so.
So much
You would
work.
want to live in Minecraft?
It's so blocky.
It's awesome.
And you're like, there are horrible things coming to kill you all the time.
It's
Yeah.
easy to defend yourself from those people.
Yeah.
It's fine. You just make yourself a little tower.
I feel like there's something obvious that I'm missing here.
Yeah, there's got to be some.
All I
game
can
that's
think
just
of is
like-
the awful places like Silent Hill, Dark Souls.
There's got to be some place that's just like gorgeous and wonderful.
The see, it also all depends on like who you are in the universe.
Yeah.
Like I've been playing Assassin's Creed 4, and if you're like awesome pirate dude sailing around in the seas, Assassin's Creed 4 is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Until you die of scurvy.
If you're if you're like slave guy down in the galleys, or like whatever serving wench in some crappy pirate port, it's probably not so good.
It's true.
So
Honestly, probably some of the Arland games because nothing happens in those games.
yeah, it's just like a happy town.
Yeah. Like there's no actual
The biggest
there's no overarching like save the world thing. There's no deadly whatever.
The biggest tragedy that's going to happen is
your shop might foreclose.
Yeah, this place might close.
Yeah. Will Checkpoint have a Game of E3 award? Asks Rob. We'll probably do something about E3 on Checkpoint again.
Yeah, we'll probably now that it's sort of over,
and you can wrap
we
it up.
might do like a little wrap up or
Post-mortem.
something.
What is your
post-mortem? Yeah.
Andrew
Yeah.
asks, what is your favorite card from Conspiracy?
Oh,
God. I don't know. I need to play with it before I answer that question.
I mean,
I-
the like put another pack into the draft card.
That's pretty
It's
funny.
gotta be
Pretty
pretty
funny.
ridiculous.
So much.
I windmill slammed. This is kind of a boring choice, but Tyrant's Choice I put into my mono black deck because one in a black dome for 4 is pretty good in aggro.
I just watched Kenji kill some guy with that. He
Yarp.
had 2 of them. It was just like, for you.
And the take an extra 7 card hand at the beginning one is pretty awesome.
That was pretty
too.
sweet, yeah.
Super mulligan.
Peter asks, who do you favor for the World Cup? Let's try that again. Who of us watches the World Cup?
I say Brazil. I think Brazil's going to win.
Canada. Are we in
do
the
we
World
even
Cup?
have a team?
No.
The
No,
sportsman. I have no clue at all.
Canada does not have a team.
How? What do you base?
Just
that
go with
on?
Brazil.
Do we not
Sure,
have a team
Brazil.
in the World Cup, or do we like not have a professional level soccer team at all?
No, we just don't have a team in the World Cup.
Oh, okay.
Womp womp.
Steve asks, have you considered making a YouTube channel consisting of your cat vines? Honestly, we did. When we got Baxter, we were like, should we make him his own YouTube channel? No, that's a little weird. Maybe we should have.
No, you made the right choice.
What is the worst pun you've ever been exposed to?
Oh God.
Cool. There's so many.
There's a lot of bad ones.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch videos, they've shown. I mean, like they've shown up, especially in like feed dump and stuff. They show up fairly often.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
there was this.
If you're
there was like a G-rated joke thread a while ago.
Oh yeah, I saw that
wow.
one. Yeah.
And there was this big like story about a monk who ran a flower shop, and then this guy named Hugh like ran him out of business, and the punchline was only Hugh can prevent florist friars.
wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's even worse than the one I was thinking of. It's like you know what happened when the red ship crashed into the blue ship, right?
Oh no.
The crew were marooned.
Ah,
Yeah, I like that.
that's really good.
That reminds me of that scene in Rainbow Wars when they're like, "Holy shit, we made purple,
green.
green." Right.
It's I mean, there's.
They just start chugging paint.
I mean, I kind of there's sometimes the sort of Shaggy Dog like really long stories that just end in a stupid
In the
pun.
terrible pun,
When-
yeah.
Can be okay as
Yeah.
long as they're in the right context.
Yeah.
But
When Kim and I used to work together at Rebar, we threw so many puns at each other that the salad line put a moratorium on pun warfare.
Nice.
It was,
I mean, I always enjoy like when we're doing Unskippable or doing the Let's Play stuff or whatever, and we run into a situation that's, for instance, like in Metal Gear Solid, where you're cutting off arms, and so you can make lots of disarmed jokes, that kind of stuff. Or we're in the Rise, where there's the dying. There's like a dying shop where there's purple dye or blue dye everywhere.
Right.
And so obviously lots. So I mostly enjoyed just watching the chat come up with all sorts of fun puns.
Well, because there was a guy who drowned in it.
Really?
A thing. So it was like,
I guess he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Michael asks, if you guys did a crap shot based on a Stolen Jokes comic, would it create an infinite loop or just be odd?
Holy shit, it might.
Oh yeah, wow, yeah.
For those who aren't aware, I think it's stolenjokescomic.tumblr.com.
Yeah. I think if you search Tumblr for stolen jokes, you would probably find it.
So this is
Featherweight.
Yeah, Featherweight, who is at Featherweight_ in the chat, and I think he's just at Featherweight on Twitter. I could be wrong. Yeah, stolenjokescomic.tumblr.com is aside from a bunch of hilarious fan art based on our streams, has a comic series, basically a webcomic based on LoadingReadyRun interpersonal interactions on Twitter. Largely myself and Kathleen, but a lot of other people as well. And it's really funny, but B, like most of the time when it is about Kathleen or I, we're like, how are you in our house? Like this is a conversation we literally had, but we didn't talk about it on Twitter.
Welp.
Yeah.
He knows you better than you know yourself.
I think that
also
would be super weird.
he's in your house.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
McDonald's or death?
Sorry?
McDonald's or McDonald's?
Well, McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's like I can't stand McDonald's, but I think I'm going to stay alive and eat that cheeseburger.
Yeah. Well, how much McDonald's?
Death.
All the McDonald's chains.
I mean, death will come a little sooner.
Yeah, death will come sooner if you have to eat a lot of McDonald's.
Gray asks, how do you feel about the impossibility for any new fans to watch your entire back catalog? I hadn't thought about that. I guess it is
absolutely true. It is.
We've been making shit for 10 years.
It is. It's not okay. It isn't impossible. Wait, is it?
Well,
What?
nothing's impossible.
Ignore the
James.
streams, just the videos.
Are you saying impossible as in it's too much stuff?
No, as in impossible
Or is it
as
not online?
is it easy to actually get everything we've made?
Everything except season 1.
Yeah,
But season one, it's
season
not.
one,
It's
if
not
you
impossible.
really want to,
if
you
you
can
really want
find
to,
it.
you can get season 1.
there are some earlier videos that are sort of caught in. There's a couple like.
Well, there's a disc.
There's a couple sort of like
isn't there?
Failhouse and Iron Stomach from early on that are kind of like lost in limbo somewhere, and I don't know where the files are.
Yeah. So I would say it's probably impossible to watch everything, in which case I feel bad.
I think they're talking just about.
But that being said,
Too much.
But volume, no, too bad.
They're saying-
Suck it up. Just
Wow.
please.
Well,
All of our
Turner
shit is
suck it.
very small.
Just
It's
get
just
good.
5 minutes.
Just get
as
good.
somebody
Yeah.
who just started watching, just started watching The West Wing, which is 7 seasons,
Yep.
45-minute episodes, and there's 22 episodes per season.
Yep. It's an
Suck
investment.
it up.
Yeah. Suck it
You know?
I
up.
love it. I love it.
You just devote some time to it, or call in sick and do it all in one day.
Doesn't even take a couple months. Okay? Oh, I'm curious. How long do you think it would take to watch everything we've ever made, minus the streams? So streams don't count because streams shouldn't count. So everything we've made. So that's all 10.5 seasons of sketches, feed dumps, fail houses, whatever thing, unskippable, ENN, checkpoint plus doesn't count. Friday nights, we'll exclude strip search, we'll exclude tabletop deathmatch, just like the comedy stuff that we do.
Daily drop.
So just the sketches is probably around like 43 hours.
43 hours.
Because we did the 500th video last year.
Yep.
Right. And so if we assume an average of 5 minutes a video.
Yep.
500 videos is 2,500 minutes. Divided by 60, that's 41.6 hours. But then we've done a bunch of videos since then. So let's be generous and say 44 hours just for the Loading Ready Run sketches up to now.
Okay.
So there you go. That's fine.
Like maybe like a week.
Solid.
A week solid of content. So
like if it's like 2 days for the Loading Ready Run videos,
right?
There's probably at least that much
in other stuff. And then maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I would say maybe like 5 days of content.
Yeah. So just a work week.
Yeah. Take a week off work and just
sleep.
Get it done.
All right.
We're good
Have
to
it
go.
on my desk by Monday.
Yeah.
Turn 2 Brews asks, any chance of a Maximum Scoop t-shirt?
No.
Probably not, but I like the idea. Jordan asks, I know Graham isn't a big fan of IPAs. I'm curious, what do the crew's general tastes lean towards beer-wise, like style of beer? Paul and Alex don't really
drink.
weigh in on this one.
Yeah. I like very, very light beers.
Yeah.
I like
so
the way
light
beer
it's water.
smells.
So light it's water. The only kind of beers that I don't really like are heavy stouts. Dark beers I'm not a big fan of, but like IPAs are fine. I like wheats.
What's your
lighter
current favorite beer?
The summer wheat ale. So what is it? The Beachcomber. Thank you.
Yeah.
From Vancouver Island Brewery.
I like wheat beers in the summer. I like stouts and porters in the winter. Basically anything other than IPAs and equally hoppy beers. I just don't like.
I like IPAs and hoppy.
I don't like the flavor of lots of hops.
That's fair. Yeah. Like I don't mind it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'll always stick with lighter beers if I'm given the choice. So.
I love a good wheat beer in the summer.
Wheat beers are the shit.
What do you play in standard, and are you any good?
No, and I would be. I don't know.
None of us play standard.
None of us play standard. I have a plan for standard though. We'll get there.
Josh asks, with your streaming going so well, has any game come up that none of you will touch?
Probably.
Provably not.
No, I mean,
there's so many.
There's games that I just like we've mentioned a couple times, like the Arland games. I'm not going to play those on stream just because they'd be a terrible stream.
Yeah.
Or they
would go forever.
And we were doing The Witcher, and we sort of decided that it wasn't really working.
Yeah.
There's so many games. Like it's not like like a video game review site where it's like, all right, who's gonna review this one?
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're not only doing new games, we're doing historical games, we're doing whatever. So it's not like we're ever gonna like not have a game to play and be forced to play a game you don't want to.
Yeah, it's
just
true.
to get
It's
content.
I think there's like a driving game or two that I would never play on stream because it looks dull as shit.
That's fair.
Yeah, there's certainly games that don't work well on stream.
Yeah, or games you just don't want to play.
Yeah.
Because of personal tastes. All right.
I find it offensive.
What was your favorite game from Tabletop Deathmatch? Are there any good behind-the-scenes stories? I don't know about good behind-the-scenes stories. I kind of like how that all sort of came about, is that Liz and Max were like, we want to film this thing, and we're not sure what we want. I was like, well, okay, what do you mean you want to film it? Do you want to do a show like this? Do you want to do a show like this? Like, I need to know what sort of thing you're looking for. And
just work the magic.
Max, he looked at what I had written with like, are you looking for something like this? Almost like a pitch, and was like, ooh, yeah, that. Let's do that. And I was like, all right, that's happening in 2 weeks? Okay. But there's a lot of games that I really, really want to play. Obviously, the winning game, I don't want to spoil what it was, but the winning game I really, really want to play.
That should be pretty soon. Eh?
It's up. I just don't want to spoil it if they haven't seen it. Oh, you mean to be able to play it?
No, the finale of
Yep.
Tabletop
it's done.
Deathmatch is up now.
Yeah, it has aired, but I guess
Do you know how long it is till the game comes out or it's playable?
Gen Con
Oh yeah,
should be available for
right.
Gen Con. So
Yeah.
I guess so. Irrespective of winners, we'll just pretend that. Just ignore that. I'll just list some of the games. I really want to play Discount Salmon. I really want to play Penny Press. I really want to try the Shadow over Westminster. That game looks like a lot of fun.
I mean, most of the games, I guess, will probably be coming out in some form or another.
Yeah, even games that didn't win got a big sort of boost from this game, and
They're running like Kickstarters
or from
and stuff.
from the documentary, and they're running Kickstarters and stuff. And so definitely check that out. Those are the three that I was like really. Oh, and I really want to try Outer Earth because the art style and the sort of the world there really kind of interested me. But honestly, all of the games I want to try in one way or another.
Sweet.
Another World Cup question. What pizza is the best? Asks Marmaroff.
Now, do they mean what set of toppings or a place to get pizza from?
I assume they mean what kind
Probably
of
what kind of toppings.
like toppings, like your favorite pizza.
I am really boring, and I'm just going to say pepperoni.
I like Hawaiian.
Yeah, pepperoni, Hawaiian, meat lovers,
I am
good to go. Cheese, even. I mean, the standards.
I'm
Yeah.
a fan of feta on pizza.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's good.
I like regular old pizzas. Like
Mhm.
whenever I go to like the fancy pizza places, I always get the sort of standard pizza.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of, I don't know if it's a new thing for other people, but at least in Victoria, it's a relatively new thing that there's a couple of I guess they're called sort of Neapolitan style pizza
Ooh, yeah.
places where they actually do it, do it up
Famoso.
nice and fresh.
Yeah, I'm going with just like I'm dialing up
Yeah, Panago or
Panago to order it.
whatever.
Yeah, but those places are amazing.
Yeah.
Lewis asks, I'm on a 13-hour drive with a 15-month-old. What's the longest you've ever driven with a child in the car?
The longest I've ever driven with a child car, I would have been the child.
Yeah, or family road trip.
I've never done it
with my sister.
We
Yeah.
went to Calgary with Matt.
Oh, and we're moving on. Snap. Nice.
And last question from Toothpaste Laser. What is the official Bionic Trousers media stance on skeleton racism?
Okay, yeah.
well,
let's just make this about that. You know,
I don't
real subtle, guys.
I don't speak.
I'm
for
right
Bionic,
here.
I don't speak for Bionic Trousers, but I think it's racist.
Yeah.
So this came up. This was
the opinions of certain staff members of Bionic Trousers Media Incorporated do not reflect the official opinions of Bionic Trousers Media.
My tweets are my own.
Yeah, you got to do the like really limp-wristed like deflection where you're just like, you know, we can't take a position on this because it's something
we
internal.
appreciate people of or monsters of all types.
Yeah. And, you know, let's not forget that racism against orcs is also a problem.
It's a real thing, people.
Yeah.
Not all orcs.
Open your eyes, sheeple.
To briefly
That came up on stream.
to briefly
Bionic
expand
Trousers
on,
Media is a multi. We don't have any skeletons working for us.
No,
but
we don't.
we would be totally
we
fine.
better not.
We'd be totally fine.
Whoa.
If a skeleton wanted
Holy
to work for
Wow,
us.
I think we have a bit of a PR problem.
Not only would we be fine with the skeleton working for us, but we have like a whole list of crap shots that would be great if we had a
Yeah,
skeleton
that's
working
true.
for us.
Literally, Alex's favorite punchline is just "and hard cut to a bleached white skeleton," and we don't have one. We've looked into it.
We do.
There's
need
like
one.
some cheaper ones we could maybe get, but this just came up on the streams, just a joke in chat because it just was it me or you or someone was just like, "Oh, I hate skeletons."
I think it was me. Like I think I actually have been
Dark Souls?
cultivating my skeleton racism. It started,
Nice.
I think, with Minecraft.
Oh right.
Because I was so mad at like.
There's
the
a thread on the
skeleton
forums
archers.
about it now too.
Yeah, somebody started a thread being like, you know, boycott skeleton
What?
bigot Alex Stacey.
Oh my
and
God.
I went in and I posted a bunch of bogus statistics about skeletons and how dangerous they are. It's really funny.
Look, I'm not racist. I'm just saying that, you know, if you encounter a skeleton day to day, right, he'll
he's
probably
gonna shoot
stab
you.
you.
Yeah, he's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
You know?
I would. I mean,
So it's like you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but then they come in with
It's
a
hard-
scimitar and a
it's-
target shield.
it's hard to think about these things, but if I saw a skeleton walking down the street, I would probably run away.
I would cross the street. Yeah. Yeah. I would go to the other side of the street.
You know, I got to be real.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Skeleton profiling.
It's a thing.
Wow.
All right.
Well, that was a good. Yeah, all right, sure. So there's all your questions that we had time for this week. Thank you guys so much for your questions and for listening. And we'll be back with the next LRRcast whenever we do that.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.